What is up, y'all? Man, it's been a couple weeks. I'm sorry we haven't had enough content, and I've been on vacation and doing stuff. But thank you all so much, man. Tonight's show is super exciting, man. I asked y'all last week earlier if you guys wanted me to do a show of like all my songs and bands and different projects, and told some stories about the songs and stuff. And you guys blew me away with your responses, so that's what we're gonna do tonight. This is the Ography. That's Dig It Dave right there, who came up with that slogan for this. But yeah, I'm super pumped to do the show this week. I wasn't sure if it was something that you guys would be into or not, but again, with the overwhelming responses, I had to do it. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna kind of go through all the different genres. Well, it's going to be based more on like time periods. When I first started with the Dirty Pickles stuff, and then moving into Pothole and some of the hip hop stuff. And yeah, just kind of a tour through my catalog. A lot of it's B-side stuff and stuff I've never even released, like some cool demos and stuff like that. But if you guys have any questions about anything, like I wanted this to kind of be an open forum. You know, ask me whatever, any touring questions or questions about songs, totally down to answer them in the chat. Yeah, thank you guys so much for the support and the fact that we get to keep doing this. Am I coming in clear? Shoot me something in the chat to make sure that I know that I'm coming in crystal clear and looking as good as, well, I possibly can. But, yeah, welcome to Broke B's Distraction Radio Shuffle. Usually we feature all kinds of independent artists of every kind of genre of art in general, not just music, but videos, paintings, you name it, we do it. Send your stuff to brokeboland@gmail.com if you want to be featured on a future show. We're on YouTube at brokeboland.com or youtube.com/brokeboland, where there's an entire playlist of all the other episodes of Broke B's Distraction Radio Shuffle. And yeah, this is episode 18. 8's my favorite number, and I figured this would be a good one to do my oh, thanks guys, coming in clear, crystal clear is what I see. But yeah, I figured 18 would be a fun show to, you know, kind of, this is my show this time. So we have a ton of songs. A lot of my songs are really short, so it's all good. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Bill. But yeah, real quick, if there's any disturbance in the forest and we cut out, just come right back. We'll get it up and running again. I'm gonna put links up right now if anybody wants to tip or donate. So I screwed it up, man. If you watch this show, you know that I do that every single time. But yeah, if for some reason you feel like contributing to the show aside from watching, which is absolutely the most important thing. Second most important thing is sharing. Third is liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel. And fourth, if you guys have anything to pitch monetarily, it just helps me keep doing the show. There's the links right up there in the chat. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing started, and this first song is actually really funny. This is the first Dirty Pickles song I ever wrote within the first week of being in the Dirty Pickles, and it's the first song we recorded, and this is totally unreleased. This is off our very first demo. We recorded it just like the Wonders in That Thing You Do. We recorded it in a church on 38th and Kahi. It's with Ben Jam and Romer on the bass, Matt Kicking Koratowski on an electric kit, and Ben's brother was the one who recorded it for us. We got it done in a night. It was 4 songs. You can definitely hear that good old adolescent's voice in this recording, but I just wanted to share it with you guys because it's you know, a big part of my history, because it's probably the first real recording session I ever had. So this is Get Out of My Town from the Dirty Pickles' first demo back in 2004. I was 18 years old, and you can tell. Here we go.
Dirty Pickles is walking down the street. Happy rare, not to the feet. Long and I got one flush on my head. Man, he said, get out of my town. Get out of my town. Get out of my town.
Man, I'm out of breath just listening to that. We were so fast, we thought we were the Ramones. But yeah, that was our first recording ever. It was in a church, and I definitely remember being there and not knowing what the heck I was doing. Again, it was my first studio session, but I don't know, that little demo got our foot in the door and kind of opened the floodgates for me and what my future was going to be. So I always like listening to that every now and then, even though it's kind of silly and, you know, totally youthful energy there, we'll put it. But yeah, that was Get Out of My Town. Again, if you guys have any questions or like whatever, like kind of open forum session here tonight. I'm keeping it pretty loose, and Ben's brother did record that. And Diggett's popping in here. We got Diggett on a bunch of stuff. Speaking of which, the Dirty Pickle logo, which you just saw, and you're going to see a whole bunch more of his artwork, Diggett Dave actually designed in economics class. Before Dave was ever even a part of the band, he was always our friend and always a fan. And, you know, we were in high school when we started, and I told Dave I wanted Mr. Peanut, but Elvis. And hence you get Dirty Dill, the Dirty Pickle mascot. On this next piece of art, you're going to see the second rendition of him. But this next one, actually, Nate Harps, Mr. Slim himself, who's here with us tonight. Nate, I don't know if you remember this or not. Chime in if you do. But we recorded this demo in either late 2006, early 2007. I'm not quite sure. But Ben had gone off to college, and so did Matt. And this is with Bobby Boots and Bobby Boots Lechner on the upright bass, with Marky G, who would later become a total staple in the band, on drums. And we recorded this in the Raven Sound Building up on the top floor, I believe. Again, just another single session thing. And it was one of the first times I ever recorded with Nate. He went on to do our whole second album, which we'll get to in just a couple minutes, because you know it's on here. I'm trying to kind of hit every corner. But this is my song Smoke Rings, from the Smoke Rings demo. And when I wrote this song, you can hear the chord progression in it. I wanted to write a song like Stray Cat Strut and like Hit the Road Jack, and it's the same dun 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 bum bum. Like, I wanted a song with that feel, but I wanted my version of one of those songs. So that's how you got Smoke Rings, and I just wanted to tell kind of a a bad story to a good, you know, fun, happy song. And yeah, I'll just listen to it, and you can ask questions later. But here's the Smoke Rings demo, late 2006, early 2007. I don't remember anymore.
Smoke ring. It all started that day. You called me a joke, sitting on the back porch having a smoke. You laughed, ha 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 ha. I blew a smoke ring and then I wrote you off. smoke. Alright, it all started that day. You called me drunk, sitting on the back porch, having a smoke. You laughed, ha 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 ha. A little smoke ring and then I rolled you off. Alright, all of these smoke rings doing crazy things. I am not insane. I guess I just used too many smoke rings. All of these smoke rings. All of these smoke rings. All of these smoke rings.
Oh man, bringing back the old memories. Well, that's it for the demos. So after this, we took a couple years to perfect the craft and put out an actual album, and we went to Red Hook, Brooklyn to do it. Our first official studio release was called Picklebilly, and the song I picked from it was a song called In a Place. The song's just about a lover puts me in a place in the clouds, in my head, like everything she does puts me in a place. But then I realized that I couldn't take it anymore. And it's funny because this one my mom actually contributed to. She said at the final chorus, you should switch it around to I'll put you in your place. Not exactly 2020 oriented or ever, but it's a song and it's a fun song. And the cool thing about this song is we recorded this whole album in a 4-day period in Red Hook, Brooklyn at Hard Luck Studios with Jason Spittle. And my throat was destroyed. I was chugging spicy V8, and I just remember being so worn out because we were playing shows while we were in New York. So it was like a tour / making an album, and it was exhausting. But we got through it and we got it done, and I'm really proud of the album. And cool fact on this one is the saxophone in this song was played by Danny Ray, and Danny Ray has played with like the biggest acts, the New York Dolls, Billy Idol, Joan Jett, I think he toured with for a little while. Just a really cool guy. And fun fact about Danny Ray, he actually was one of the programmers who ported the original Mortal Kombat to Sega Genesis. So it was really cool hanging out with him and meeting him, and we still stay in touch. And at some point, he told me to bring him to Erie to play his show. So I'm hoping that we can do that. But this is our 2008 release, Picklebilly, recorded in Red Hook, Brooklyn. This is In a Place.
I guess I only love you 'cause you give me
All right, off the Dirty Pickles' first studio album, recorded in Red Hook, Brooklyn. That was Ben Jammin' Romer on the bass, Marky G on the drums, and Danny Ray on the saxophone. And yeah, I'm not kidding, man. That was definitely the hardest studio session I've ever done. It was my first time being in like a big recording studio, and you know, like I said, we did it in 4 days. There was 14 songs on the album, and we were playing shows. So, needless to say, it was the gauntlet. But you know, that's what it takes, man. I think up next. So up next is a recording. The song I wrote, it's actually on Picklebilly. I wrote the song back in 2007, I believe, maybe even a little earlier. But it's definitely become one of my favorite songs to play, and means a lot to me. The recording that I'm going to show you is off of, I did a Facebook Live recording, I want to say back in 2017, called the Sandstone Sessions. It was where the old Basement Transmissions is, right next, like attached to PACA, and the walls were all sandstone, and it was kind of cool, and it was completely wide open at the time, so the room sounded awesome. So I recorded this one myself. It's okay, you know, it was kind of a live recording, but the energy of the song came out. But this is my grandmother's favorite song, and she got to hear that last album I showed you, the Picklebilly album. She heard this version of that song right before she passed away, and yeah, so this song always meant a lot to me. This is a song called The Way It Goes, and I'll just let you guys listen to it. Feel free to ask me any questions you want up in the chat. I'll just throw that out there one more time. All right, let's hit The Way It Goes.
I tried to talk to myself today. I couldn't think of anything to say. So I grabbed my coat and I took a stroll on down to Misery Lane. I sit and think of everything that I've done to put me in this state of emotion. Realize I've done it to myself, and I can't blame anybody else. So I take another sip from the bottle. I sit and do the only thing that I know. I put the pen tip to the paper, and I begin to carry on. I tried so hard to get so far away. No one ever told me life's a drag. I sit with my head between my knees and I cry alone, hoping that I'll find my way back home. But that's the way it goes. I stare into her eyes of blue, and all I can think of is you, and all the pain that I put you through. Oh baby, what did I do? So I take another sip from the bottle. I sit and do the only thing that I know. I put the pen tip to the paper, and I begin to carry on. I tried so hard to get so far away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No one ever told me life's a drag. I it goes. Well, that's the way it goes. Well, that's the way it goes. Well, that's the way it goes.
All right, that's my song, The Way It Goes. Couple other things that came up in the chat. So I mentioned the Sandstones that I recorded that in, and Dig It Dave just noted that the Sandstones were installed by Civil War vets. They were installed by Civil War vets. So that's really cool. And then my mom just chimed in. She said, when my mom became terminally ill, she played this over and over. Matt sang it at her funeral. Yeah, hardest performance I've ever done. But yeah, that was for you, Grandma. So after those songs got written, I wanted to start doing a little more complex stuff. Still keeping in the 50s vibe. After this next song, we start to go more into the folk, and we just get crazier from there. But this next song was I just gone through a breakup, and I felt like I was like in some kind of trance, and I couldn't snap out of it. So I wrote this song called Trance, ironically enough, and it's off of our very second album, which is called Not Quite Kosher, which was recorded by Nate Harps, Mr. Slim himself, and he brought up something cool. So one of the cool tricks we did to this album, because we recorded it like in a house, which was kind of neat, and then in a studio, like we did a whole bunch of different weird stuff with this. But my guitar in this song was actually, my guitar cabinet was put in the back of a minivan with some microphones on it, and the minivan all closed up, and that's what we used as an isolation chamber. So I always thought that was kind of cool, and I know he's pumped about it. So yeah, so this is a song called Trance, recorded by Nate Slim Harps. It's with Dig It Dave on drums for the very first time. It's right when we brought him in. Literally, I think we brought him in just months. So quick little tidbit: Dig It Dave wasn't a drummer. Marky G had to go and do some other stuff, so we were looking for a drummer, and we invited Dig It Dave over just to hang out with us. But me and Ben had kind of collaborated and conspired and said, hey, when he gets here, let's put drumsticks in his hands and just mess around and jam and see if he's got rhythm. And we did, and he totally did. And to this day, I will say I have never seen anybody pick up the drums as fast as Dig It Dave, and the bass, because later on this little adventure we're taking tonight, Dig It Dave will be on bass, picked up the bass like that. So Dig It Dave has played the entire rhythm section of the Dirty Pickles throughout the years. But right now, this is his first recording on drums. This is Ben jamming on the bass, Dig It Dave on the drums, and this is called Trance.
The only thing that you ever taught me, girl, was love's not the only thing in the world. For 1 hot minute, I was in it, but that all passed, I finally get it. I see the way that you look at him, you're holding on to me till you get in, and I'm waiting for my release from this sliver of a love leash. Somebody snap me out of this trance. This kind of love don't make any sense, and this ain't no televised romance. love me and I know that you were full of it. You're like a train headed for a giant pit, and I won't be your caboose. I'm sorry, baby, but I'm cutting loose. You've had your eyes on him for quite some time. I can tell you won't even look at mine. For some reason I hate to see you go, but I guess it's just because I don't wanna be alone. Yeah! Somebody snap me out of this trance. This kind of love don't make any sense. And this ain't no televised romance. So if you ever get the chance, turn around and dance. Take his hand. Let your feet hit the floor. I don't need you no more. Just to stay away. There's nothing more to gain. To take his hand and turn around and dance.
I used to live in love like in fairy tales. Romeo and Juliet, Guinevere, that's not a land. That's nothing but a trance. I realize now that it's not about that. It's about finding someone to hold, someone to kill, someone you can stand by all the time. Until that some person comes along, I'm gonna walk my head high enough and do one thing.
But I try, yes I try, yes I try to be satisfied. Somebody snap me out of this trance. This kind of love don't make any sense. And this ain't no televised romance. So if you ever get the chance, get the chance, get the chance, turn around and dance. Take his hand. Let your feet hit the floor. I don't need you no more. Just to stay away. There's nothing more to give. To take his hand and turn around and dance. Turn around and dance. Turn around and dance. Turn around and dance. Oh, turn around and dance. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I just want to say before I switch over, Dig It Dave had mentioned he does have a $0 bill on his coffee cup. Just a little fun fact there. Let me see, and we'll do this. Hey, there I am. Hi, guys. But, yeah, that was a crazy recording session because, as Dave said up here, Diggit said, we set the CD release show date before we finished recording. We had to scrap the first version because he couldn't drum to the click track because he was a brand new drummer. So, yeah, man, just all kinds of... recording's such a crazy thing, especially... Well, being in a band is a crazy thing. You're juggling band members. You're trying to get something done, and, like... It's funny going back and listening to all these recordings, and I can sit here and put myself at the time and place, like physically and mentally, of where I was, and it's almost like a time capsule. That's the really cool thing about recording is, you know, once it's done, you have it. It's done. But now things started to change. I stopped. I didn't stop, but. I wanted to branch out instead of getting typecast as a 50s rock and roll. Oh, fun fact, that last album is when I started wearing the fedora, if you couldn't tell by the album art. But again, Dig It Dave album art. Dig It Dave did just about every piece of album art you've seen so far. But actually, he has done every single piece of album art you've done. So this next one was a really cool one to do. I was trying to figure out kind of a new direction to go, and I started really getting into like the Avett Brothers and really more folky country sounding stuff. And I wrote this next song in a dream. I didn't think that was possible. I've heard of people doing it before, but I was laying down in my bed. I had my laptop open next to me. Went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I remember vaguely typing up some lyrics. Didn't realize it was a whole entire song. I didn't change this song at all once I typed these lyrics, but I typed these lyrics out and went back to bed. Woke up the next morning and read it, and I was just like, holy crap, I wrote a song. So kind of a dream. But this song was about, I was 25 years old, and I was the oldest. Like, I was going through like kind of a quarter life crisis of, oh, I'm getting old. I don't know. Little did I know, right? But no, I realized that like 25 was the oldest young I was going to be, but it's also the youngest old I'm going to be. And at that moment, and the song is called To Grow Old because I had it in my mind that to grow old meant to drown. And, gasp for air of that last little bit of youthful self and blah, blah, blah. Again, hindsight. But, at that time, that's what was going through my mind. And by the end of the song, I had realized to grow old means to be found and, like, be proud of growing older and being more experienced and learning more stuff. So that's what this song is about. Now, the recording process has a whole nother story. This album, I called my buddy Chris Workman, who lives out in Conneaut, and I said, hey man, what are you doing today? This is literally how it went down. I called him up early in the morning. I was like, hey, what are you doing today? And he said nothing. And I knew that he had a couple mics and an interface and a laptop. I said, hey, how about I bring a whole bunch of instruments down and let's just record some songs. And his dad, Sid Workman of Swamp Road Guitars, builds guitars out of cabbage slicers and cigar boxes and just anything lamp. I think there's a lamp guitar on this, not on this song, but on this album. So we ended up doing a 12-hour one take album. Like we got the whole thing done in one day, and I walked out of his house. I think there's 12 tracks on it, and we were just like, wow, well, I guess we made an album. So and this was weeks after I wrote this song, not very long, less than a month after I wrote this song. So this is off my first solo album called Well I'll Be, and this is recorded, the whole album was recorded in one day, and this is a song about growing up. This is called To Grow Old. Okay.
Yeah. Many years ago, I told myself that life's a joke. Turns out I was right, but I couldn't take my own advice. Now I'm stuck in a period of taking things too serious. I can't figure out how to win this fight. Who's got the bottle the next round? To grow old means to drown. Further I go up, oh, the further I fall down. Who's got the bottle the next round? Yeah! Hey, 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 hey. When I was a kid, I made mistakes and I would just laugh them away. Now one mistake ruins my day. Can't figure out how to shake the pain. With bills to pay, my mind decays into an adult state. Well, I never said that life's a game, but if it was, I'd quit. Who's got the bottle the next round?
kids, I don't know when I looked into the mirror again. And I didn't even know the face that I saw. I introduced myself to myself, and I slapped me a high five, and realized it was up to me to keep my soul alive. Now I'm dancing on the porch even though I am late for work. Not to mention there was no music. People laughed and people looked. Next thing I knew they were all hooked. Whole street was remembering how to begin. Well, I've got the bottle this round. To grow old means to be found. The more I grow up, oh, the more I grow proud. Well, I've got the bottle this round. Well, I've got the bottle this round. Well, I've got the bottle this round. All right, that was To Grow Old off of my first solo album, We'll All Be. A couple fun facts that Diggit said. The rubber chicken, I used to play with rubber chicken on my tambourine. That would bounce up and down when I played tambourine with my right foot. And he's actually on this album. If you go check out the album, you'll hear him at some point. The rubber chicken's name was Bucky. And good call on that one, Dave. And also, if you notice the album cover looked kind of weird, it's because it actually... when we made the album, we silk screened the logo onto a bunch of green bandanas and wrapped the album in bandanas with twine. So it was a really cool, fun album to put out, but it was really expensive and a pain in the butt. I remember me and Diggit Dave just sitting with all of them on the living room floor and wrapping them. And the actual CD itself, we spray painted, Diggit Dave made a stencil of the bottom of my Converse shoe, because I was known for wearing Converses back then, and he made a stencil of the pattern on the bottom of a Converse shoe, and we printed it with green spray paint on every single blank white disc. So that was a cool album, but will not be replicated. So if you have one, good on you. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I try and do this every single week that I can. If you know anyone who has material to send me, so we don't have to have shows of just me all the time, this is going to be a one-off. Maybe I'll do a part 2 way down the line, but for the most part, this is about everybody else. I'm just the mouth. But send your stuff to brokeboland@gmail.com. Go to the YouTube channel and go to youtube.com/brokeboland. There's an entire playlist of all of Broke B's Distraction Radio Shuffles. All 18 episodes will be on there. And if you guys would like to contribute in any way, shape, or form, I have PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. I just put it on the chat. It helps me out more than you know, especially in these awesome times right now where I'm playing barely at all. But, so, now that we got that out of the way, so, it's time for Broke Boland. So, the Broke Boland name came from getting... So, Dirty Pickles were always kind of family friendly, and I always wanted to keep that part about me. But I had so much other stuff that I wanted to write that was political and punk and just not for everybody. So I had to come up with kind of an alter ego in a way. There was Matty B, which is fun and bubbly and bouncy, you know. And, you know, then for the other stuff I wanted to write, I came up with the name Broke Boland because to me it sounded like an old blues name. And I was really into blues at the time. And so I started going by Broke Boland and the Dirty Pickles to try and wean people into that. And I didn't know what the right way to do it was. So we released our next album, Infinite Chaos, under Broke Boland and the Dirty Pickles, just to kind of show people like, hey, Matty B is Broke Boland now. I know it's this big confusing mess, and I got some kind of schizoid I got a little schizo because of it. But this album was awesome. This is one of my favorite albums that I ever did. It was called Infinite Chaos, and it was recorded by Taven Markov. And it took months. This album really took months. We honed in on every detail and made sure it was perfect. It's got Marky G on drums and Dig It Dave on bass on this one. And this was the birth of the Infinite Chaos symbol, which is on my arm and on the show logo and kind of just my brand now. But this is a song I wrote about really just getting triggered and targeted and, manipulated by propaganda in general and advertising. And I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it right now because I know the place that we're in and how fragile it is right now. And quite frankly, I don't want to contribute to that, but I will play my song because that's why I write these songs. This is a song I wrote called Trigger Happiness. All right, that's off Infinite Chaos. Not long after that, I got arrested for protesting in New York City, and that's a whole nother story. Ask me about it later. But yeah, so this next song was off of that same album, but I again went with the Sandstones version just because it's, I don't know, I like this version a little more. My voice is a little more matured because I sang it a little bit after. But this song's got a really cool story to how I wrote it. I was on tour by myself in Asheville, North Carolina, and I was in a Walmart parking lot just hanging out before the show, and there's this cool little walkway that leads to like these woods, and you can go under a bridge, and like there's a creek, and it's a really nice place to write a song. So I wrote this song called Something to Think About, and I wanted to add kind of a sweet song into the list, so yeah, this is a song called Something to Think About. Basically, it's about a girl and a guy making promises of love, and then, one of the lyrics is, he played guitar and you went to school, or I played guitar and you went to school, so they split up. We both see in the same cities, but never using the same fuel. So it's just about how things don't always work out, but you can stay happy in the end. This is called Something to Think About.
When we were young, we used to go for walks. Oh, we'd hold each other's hands and circle uncharted blocks. We promised by the oak tree that we'd make it work somehow. But I don't want to think about that now. I don't want to think about that now. I played guitar and you went to school. Oh, we both seen those big cities, baby, but never using the same fuel. I think about our promise and how life doesn't work out. But I don't want to think about that now. I don't want to think about that now. But last night I had a dream that you came running home to me. You grabbed my hand and swore it was for life. Well, you grabbed my hand and said it was for life. But that was just a dream that I had last night. I know that you are someone else's wife. I hear your kids are great, and my record just came out. It's funny how life works out. I'm happy with how life works out. That's something to think about.
All right, sweet little love song. Kind of a happy ending. I don't know what you want to call that one, but we got to keep on moving here. So now we get to about 2013, I think. 2013, 2014. And I started up Pothole with Abby Barrett, Dig It Dave, and Chris Workman. We had a couple lineup changes. This next song was actually with Todd Klein, Abby Barrett, me, and Tyler Smilo. And this is a song I wrote called "Blame It on the Moon." It's basically I wrote it at like 2 a.m, sitting in the bus stop on 38th Street at the Perico Center, and just feeling it. It's basically about how sometimes people don't like to admit that they have a problem, but they do. I've just run into it with a lot of friends and maybe myself. I don't really know. I guess that's up to friends and family to decide. But the premise of it is it's a werewolf scenario. Somebody drinks whiskey, they turn into a werewolf, which is a monster of their former self. And it's don't blame it on the whiskey, blame it on the moon. But this is Pothole.
Telling me that everything's gonna be alright. I'd believe the moon if it was full, but half a moon makes half a fool. I lost my head, there's nothing left, a shot or two, the end of you. When the sun comes up, we're out of luck. You in a box, me on the block, 'cause the moon told me to. Yeah, the moon told me to. Going to the cabinet and I'm gonna grab my gun. That girl's gonna pay for everything that she's ever done. Whiskey makes a bad decision, right? She's gonna wish that the moon was full tonight. I lost my head, there's nothing left, a shot or two, the end of you. When the sun comes up, we're out of luck. You in a box, me on the block, 'cause the moon told me to. Going to the cabinet and I'm gonna grab my gun. She's gonna pay for everything that she's ever done. Whiskey makes a bad decision, right? She's gonna wish that the moon was full tonight. Because I lost my head, there's nothing left, a shot or two, the end of you. When the sun comes up,
All right, that was Pothole with Blame It on the Moon. I got one more Pothole tune to throw at you. Actually, oh, there's one more right at the end, I think. But yeah, so that recording session, actually, that's our album. This next song is off the same exact album, same exact crew. Abby Barrett, Tyler, and Todd Klein. Was recorded by Trevor Huster in his in a ranch, like just a small little house. And yeah, we made it happen when he was in town from Denver. But I always wanted to write a trailer park tragedy song, so this is my murder mystery. This is called The Tragedy of Betty May.
Of a town that was nowhere to be found unless you're really digging deep. Everyone knew Betty May, she turned the night to day, and she was the beauty of those streets. Well, I guess that comes to me, just a farmer shoveling deep. She don't know it, but we were meant to be. It was at that general store, she came walking through that door, and I saw the way she looked at me. Yeah, I saw the way she looked at me. The tragedy of Betty May. Well, everyone in town thought I was the luckiest man around when a lie told them we were wed. Oh, Betty May found out I was shooting off my mouth. She said, don't talk to me
Oh man, I was so proud of how that song came out. But yeah, that was Pothole, the Tragedy of Betty May. And if you noticed the logo that Dig It Dave made for us, he actually traced a manhole cover from State Street. So keeping it 814. But yeah, so we got one more kind of, I don't know what the word is for this song, down song. And then we're going to get into a couple songs of what I've been doing a little more recently. And they're way different from any of this stuff. But this next song, a friend of mine who was an addict, and I tried to help him a bunch of times. Then he got arrested, and I kind of wrote him off. And after that, a couple of my friends died from drug abuse. I decided that I was going to write a song from the perspective of somebody trying to help somebody out of drug abuse, and it can be a total uphill battle. This again was from those Sansone sessions that I talked about earlier, but this is a song I wrote called Southbound Prescription, and I don't know, every time I sing it, it just gets to me because I write a lot of story songs, a lot of songs that are things that I didn't experience. I write about what I do experience sometimes, but most of my songs are like cool little stories that I like to sing, like that last one. This song is to the core of my bones, like some real life stuff, but this is called Southbound Prescription.
Razor blades and whiskey are a deadly combination. I've seen so many fall into this self-medication. When the moon shines at its finest, the sunshine hurts the most. I cannot believe I'm talking to a ghost. Southbound prescription, it's a losing toss. Southbound prescription, your soul's the cost. You are not buried, yet you walk amongst the dead. That needle's buried now, lay in your own bed. Everybody warned you, you were holding a ticket in. I cannot believe this could happen to my friend. Southbound prescription, it's a losing toss. Southbound prescription, your soul's the cost. Razor blades and whiskey are a deadly combination. I've seen so many fall into this self-medication. When the moon shines at its finest, the sunshine hurts the most. I cannot believe I'm talking to a ghost. Southbound prescription, it's a losing toss. Southbound prescription, your soul's the cause. Southbound prescription, it's got you on your knees. It's got you saying, sure,
I'll have some more of these. So that was Southbound Prescription. Kind of speaks for itself. I don't know what else to say about that other than I'm ready to switch gears, and I know you guys are too. So we only got a couple more songs left. Thank you so much for you guys, asking or, giving me the go-ahead to do a whole show based on my music and my adventures. It means a lot to me, and it's cool to sit back and reminisce and get it out there. But this next project was a very, very, very short-lived thing that we're talking about bringing back. Not many people even know it existed. It's called Series of Tubes, and it's with me and Trevor Vogt. And but it's not really us. So we got really into 80s synth music and wanted to have a synth band. And we wrote 5 or 6 songs, actually. And it's kind of Devo-esque and goofy. And my name's Hans in the project, and he's Spectre. So we're from Europe, and we're only doing reunion tours. We were around in the 80s, is the whole premise of this thing. But this is a song I wrote called Algorithm. It's about asking a former vice president to help me solve a Rubik's Cube because his name's Al Gore. So that's some backstory to that. Here you go. First time ever played. This is Algorithm. So we're going from super dramatic to super funny. Yeah, that's a project I did called Series of Tubes. We are going to release this stuff at some point, but there is a bunch of songs just like that. We actually programmed an Elise and a microKORG, which is right behind me, and a mini Jupiter. Like we got into it, man. We used the right equipment for the job and tried to make it as authentic as possible. But the other project, this is more modern than that. I think that was 2018 that I was doing that. But this next song, I started making hip hop beats last winter. I started making hip hop beats, and didn't think too much of it. I was playing them all myself and tapping them out, not sampling anything. And I started showing my rap friends, and they dug it. And then eventually they got me to start rapping, and now, yes, there is an album coming out. I've been doing a lot of work with Johnny Evans and C Brown and Profound and Third Eye Focus, and I have kind of teamed up and done, we have like 10 songs already, but we're called Broke in Focus, and this is like our title track. So this is the introduction to me doing hip-hop. I'm the first voice. We swap back and forth, so I'm screaming on the first half, I do the hook, and then I'm the quiet voice on the second half. You'll get it when you hear it, but this is Broken Focus.
Everything as an artist to develop it. Flipping through these old words, trying to get a new look. Forget these old words, write yourself a new book.
Think about it for a second before you let it drop. Check the record that you're playing, gotta make it hot. Won't stop, gotta let it pop, let it roll. Take a shot, give it all you got, cause you gotta let it go.
Well, I always tend to slaughter everything I'm into. Rockabilly, Americana, and the blues. Bet you never thought you'd see me in hip-hop too. I will always be me, but I could also be you.
I'm a beast, and from my cage I've been released. Here to feast on the blood of the wicked. Where's the right beat? And I picked it at the right time. You can feel it, try to fight the style of mine.
Many years ago I told myself that life's a joke. Turns out I was right but could not take my own advice. Now I'm stuck in a period of taking things too serious. Can't figure out how to live my own life.
There's no rest for the wicked, no love for the freaks. No sympathy for nerds, no girls for the geeks. No tears for the monsters, no hope for the hopeless. There is no will self, only third eye focus.
You finally crossed the line for the last time. This broken focus made you feel it with the last rhyme. So this time I'ma make it real hard. No, this shit ain't stopping. Get out the way. You broke your focus. Better quit your talking.
And yo, I hope someday if I'm making a change, I'll be so great that I'm saving the day. For all of those heroes that are paving the way. Taking his fate, I ain't playing no games.
88 keys, 6 strings, and a microphone. That's all it really took for me to find a new home. BROKEBOLAND. That's what you wanna call me.
So who could be the baddest? Are you tougher than tough? Who could be the raddest? Are you rougher than rough? Who could smoke the fattest? Take a puff of this stuff. So you a bad motherfucker? I'm calling your bluff. What?
Hey, focus, how you wanna roll this track out? Wanna battle back and forth and turn it to a showdown? You know I'm only kidding with this mic that we share. We should raise our hands high, leave them gasping for air.
Stirred out, broke bees, supplying a track. Got one of mine open, I'm hoping you're mad. But the quote of mama open and close the back. Ill rhymes that I compose, it better take a step back.
You finally crossed the line for the last time. This broken focus made you feel it with the last rhyme. So this time I'ma make it real hard. No, this shit ain't stopping. Get out the way. You broke your focus. Better quit your talking. Yeah.
So there it is, folks, some Broken Focus. Believe it or not, we do have a bunch of other stuff coming out, and I'm pretty pumped about it, man. Like, the beats that I'm making are super organic. I'm using upright bass on them, and my tongue's getting quicker, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was Broken Focus. There is another track up on YouTube that we did, if you want to check that out. All right, guys, we're down to our final two. Thank you all so much for, joining me on this crazy adventure. If you guys want to chip in anything, I'm leaving links right there. And, we're going to go. So I'm going to play an old song next. No. I'm sorry. I'm going to take us out on an older Pothole song because it's one of the most unique songs that I've had the chance to write. But I'm going to do something brand new. This is totally unreleased. I just wrote this last week. I went on a camping trip down at Minister Creek off Route 666, and it was awesome, and this kind of tells the whole story about it. This is a song I just wrote called The Pennsylvania Pines, and I recorded it in the studio, and I played everything on it. I'm playing the upright bass, the harmonica, guitar, banjo, and singing. So I hope you guys like it. This is the newest song, just recorded last week, Pennsylvania Pines.
Hey! Oh, what a time! Tell 'em about it, boys. They're having fun. Look at that campsite. The sun was setting, and the stars began to shine. Oh, the night we arrived at the Pennsylvania Pines. Well, we all drank whiskey and scotch of blue. The fire was burning the whole night through in the Pennsylvania Pines. In the Pennsylvania Pines, oh, the stars would shine in the Pennsylvania Pines. Well, we climbed mountains and we walked the creeks. Our stomachs were full because we ate like kings. I missed my love, but I had my friends. This time in the pine, I hope would never end. In the Pennsylvania Pines, in the Pennsylvania Pines, oh, the mountains we climbed in the Pennsylvania Pines. It reminds me of the time where we sang in the sand. The water carried our voices up to distant lands. Well, that was long ago and a different time, but the feeling's still there in the Pennsylvania Pines. In the Pennsylvania Pines, in the Pennsylvania Pines, oh, it brings back the times in the Pennsylvania Pines. We caught wind of a storm that was quickly moving in. We knew for sure it meant camp abandonment. So we packed up our whiskey and we put away our rye. We said goodbye to the Pennsylvania Pines. To the Pennsylvania Pines. To the Pennsylvania Pines. We salute your shrine. To the Pennsylvania Pines. I'll remember my time at the Pennsylvania Pines.
All right, guys. So that's a new fun little song I threw together just last week. So that's keeping everybody up to date. We got one more song. Again, thank you all so much for letting me do this and sharing my songs and stories with you guys. This will be up on YouTube if you want to check it out again, or share it with any of your friends or anything at youtube.com/BrokeBoland. Honestly, I need more material to keep doing this show from other artists. So if you're an artist out there, please send me your stuff so I can feature it on the show. And yeah, send it to brokeboland@gmail.com and we'll get it on there. Excuse me. So the last song I want to share with you guys is probably like the darkest song I've written. And I wrote it really quick, which kind of made me nervous about what's going on upstairs. But this was back in 2014, I believe. 2014 or 15. This is with Pothole. This is recorded in back of Forward Hall, right on 26th Street there by Sean Hammer. And this is Dig It Dave on drums, Abby Barrett on viola, Dom DeCecco of Shotgun Jubilee, and Dionisio on mandolin, and then I'm playing guitar and upright bass and singing. And this is a song I wrote called Death Waltz, and it happened really fast. Abby started playing the viola part, and I said, give me 10 minutes. I ran, I whipped up the lyrics, and out it came. And yeah, it just felt like the dark lullaby to end this on. So thank you guys. Check it out. This is Death Waltz with Pothole.
Watch your silhouette slowly fade away. The sun begins to set, murdering the day. Think you are safe all alone in your bed. That's when the demons come out of your head when you're dreaming, dreaming. Let your light fade as you're sleeping. Slowly and slowly you run out of breath, till just the body is all that is left. You try to figure out where you are right now. Not one familiar sight, not one familiar sound. Cautiously as you approach the gate, you're praying to God that you have a clean slate, but you're falling down, falling down where the fire is hotter than the sun. You think about your life and what you have done. Staring up at him, he's staring down at you. His lips begin to move, and this is what comes through. My child, you're far from your bed. Let's do the death waltz until the moon turns red. Death waltz, death waltz. The man in red takes a liking to you. There's nowhere to go, there's just one thing to do.
There you go, folks. A trip through my dark, twisted, happy, bubbly, bouncing, synthesized, hip-hopping mind. Yeah, guys, there's musicians and there's artists, and I never quite considered myself a crazy musician, but I will always claim to be an artist. And you know, I never, when I started playing music, I never wanted to be a one-trick pony, and I might be better at some different styles than others, but I'm always going to try every different style, and I encourage every artist to kind of do the same thing and see, you know, try something totally out of the box, and see what happens, because, you know, I've written some awesome songs that I never would have written if I just stuck with rockabilly or 50s rock and roll. And they've contributed to me writing better 50s rock and roll and rockabilly songs. So that's my message to everyone, is just get rid of the boundaries, get rid of the box, and be an artist. Don't pigeonhole yourself, and you know, just do one thing. But on that note, guys, thank you so much, man. This has been a really fun show, and I'm happy to have it recorded, because I told a lot of stories that I haven't really spoke out loud before, so it's nice to just have it in the bank. And you know, like I said before, I'm always looking for content, so please help me out there, guys. I can only outreach as much as I can, and it's up to you guys. And like I said, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/BrokeBoland, it helps us so much get all these other artists that have been on the show out. It just puts us into better algorithms to where the world can hear some of these independent artists that I've featured on the show. And yeah, so liking and subscribing and all that stuff that here YouTubers talk about all the time, it's true. I don't monetize any of this stuff. The only thing I do is ask for tips. I don't monetize any of my YouTube videos or anything. So it's not like I'm making money off of other people's music, or my own for that matter. Just tips and donations that you guys have given me, which thank you so much for those of you who have. It helps so much. And, you know, obviously with the stress of everything going on and not being able to play, I know there's a ton of people out of the job, but if you have that extra penny to push, it helps me go from broke to less broke bowling. But thank you guys so much for tuning in every week that you do. We always have consistent viewers, and that just means that you guys are sticking with me through all this and digging what we all do as artists. And yeah, I guess that's just it. I'll stop babbling now. It's time to take the show out, and I hope you guys have a great night. I got to be up at like 7 in the morning, so I got to go to bed soon. I'm going to North Carolina for a few days, and yeah, thank you guys so much. Be safe.